Hey there, thank you for joining me. I know for a lot of you, your season might be over. We're into April now, but we've had some nice snow this morning. I've been working all day, I've been teaching all day. It's my very last run of the day. The lifts have just closed. I thought I'd take you on a rundown with me so I can talk you through a little bit about how I ride when I'm on my own. And we're going to start off just by coming off up the side. Whew, over here, we've got a little bit of untracked snow, and it was nice and light and fluffy this morning, but with the sun being out and with it being April, it's really kind of been pounding down on the snow, melting it essentially, which brings more moisture into the snowpack and just kind of makes the snow quite heavy, but still really good fun. So coming back onto the piste now, pretty chopped up, it's pretty bumpy, just making some lazy turns through here, rocking my weight from one edge to the other over the top of the board. And I wanted to make this video as well because people like me who are normally hammering in technique can kind of take the fun out of snowboarding a little bit and make you think that anything less than a perfectly carved turn isn't good snowboarding. But good snowboarding is all about having fun, getting creative, and really enjoying the mountain. And that's what I'm always looking to do when I'm riding. So as we come down here, there's a little area that I'm just going to cut across to, a fun little gully that we're going to take you through. So I need to pick up some speed here. Again, some nice soft snow. And I've just got to cut right across this piste. Around we come into this section. I was riding this earlier. It's been pretty hammered. It's kind of tracked out. As you can see, the snow around me, there's still, some patches, like right here, where it's nice and smooth, but where everyone else has kind of ridden over the top of it, it makes it a little bit more bumpy, compresses that nice soft snow. But if I just pick up a bit of speed, you can usually find a nice area where no one's got to. And as we get lower and lower down the mountain here, oh, you can feel it. The snow's getting quite sticky, quite heavy underfoot, and it's just kind of grabbing to the base of the board and slowing me down. Hopping back onto the piste, really slushy now on the piste, so I'm going to be careful here that I don't put too much of an edge in, because when the snow's really slushy like this, it's like thick porridge like your gran used to make. It can be quite easy for the edge to kind of sink in quite a lot and your boots to dig in the snow and you boot out, particularly if you've got larger feet like myself. Now it definitely helps to have a wider board, and I'm always looking for wider boards. I'm on my Strand of Biru here, which is one of the widest boards I could find, so that helped eliminate that happening most of the time, but it's still possible. Whew. All right, there's a little hit in here, up and over, nice, love it. Woo. So I'm trying to keep my legs nice and soft, just to kind of absorb these vibrations coming up through the board as much as possible, staying a little bit lower, knees nice and bent. As we get onto the steeper sections, it's going to get a bit more mobiled out here, so I'm just going to bring my turns in a little bit smaller, and I'm kind of switching to what in the Kiwi manual they call a terrain unweighted turn, which is basically where I'm making my edge change over the top of the bump right there and allowing the board to come up to my body, pedaling my feet over the board to make the edge change, front foot, back foot, as I go over the top of the mogul. Now I'm just going to hold a little bit of speed, gently rock from edge to edge. I'm just going to throw in a quick speed check there because someone was starting to cut across. And I want to hold some speed here. Let me just get through this bit. I want to hold some speed here because, as you'll see in a moment, things really kind of flatten out. And I want to keep speed through this section. Start to feel a little bit of burn on that back leg. Riding soft snow, slushy snow, your back leg does a bit more of the work. I'm still initiating the turn with my front foot, with my front leg, front knee and hip, but I'm not really applying as much pressure through the front of the board. The back leg is doing most of the driving, if you will. Oh, so through we come around here. I've got a nice little section I want to jump into, but this snow now, as we've dropped down, is getting heavier and heavier. Whee! Love it. Hoop. Over the Nordic tracks there. They don't like it when you do this, when you mess up their tracks, but it's the end of the day and they've all finished and it's going to get repieced tomorrow. So, cutting across a few pieces there, we're going to come down over the top here. We've got a nice mellow section of this kind of cruddy snow that we're going to roll into. A little compression here as we drop down, and now here I really want to try and keep some speed. I might just jump into someone else's tracks for a moment. Here we go. Because this little roller, oh, I love this roller. Great for just floating. Whee! Woo-hoo! An ollie over. I was a little bit back seat there, almost lost it. And here we've got to be careful with where we go because there is very little snow right here, and there's only a few spots where we can navigate safely through without getting stuck in a riverbed. As you can see, one right there, so that's what we want to avoid. Around we come. Oh, this is just lovely, amazing conditions for April. And this is how I like to really ride. I like to pick out these routes. Woo! I like to find little side hits, little things like that, and yeah, I will have days where I'll really practice on my turns and work on those, but at the end of the day right now, when everything's a bit chopped up, a little bit bumpy, I'm not too stressed. If I'm doing some slightly skidded turns on the piste, that's more about connecting the dots and getting into the nice areas like that. Oh, lovely. What a day. So thank you for joining me, everyone. Remember, when you're out there, enjoy the mountain. You know, you're in this incredible environment, this quite wild environment. It's actually been made incredibly accessible by all these ski lifts. And we can take that for granted sometimes. So enjoy being out there, being in the nature, and enjoy the creativity that snowboarding brings. Make those nice turns, search for those side hits, and just focus on whatever brings you guys the most enjoyment. So I should be back pretty soon with more videos. Apologies for the delay. I've been so busy and I was actually ill for a while, so I had a little pause from posting. But I've still got a few weeks left of my season, then I can do a little bit of glacier riding, so I'll try and keep the content coming. Let me know what you thought of this one, what you thought of this view. As always, I'm filming this with the Insta360 X3 camera that you can check out on the link below. And I've got it in 360 mode today, so that as well as having it shoot back to me, I was able to kind of show you where I was riding and pan the camera around a little bit like I did earlier. Thank you guys, hope you're all good, and I'll see you in the next one, because I am done.